Hell yes, man. I have just gotten back from seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Whoo, boy, was this movie a good time. All right, now, this movie is directed by Sam Raimi. Those of you probably know him from Evil Dead and the Spider Man series that he created that is iconic to this very day. Now, if you are not a fan of Sam Raimi's works, you will probably not like this movie. It is 100% a Sam Raimi film. You can feel his directorial style and his comedy throughout the whole movie, which is something I can see people having a problem with. It's very noticeable when there is a MCU joke in the movie and when there's a Sam Raimi joke in the movie. You can definitely tell if you've seen his other works what he put a stamp on and what feels corporate mandated. And luckily, the majority of this movie is a heartfelt Sam Raimi superhero movie. The beginning of this movie felt very reminiscent, at least for me, to the beginning of Spider-Man 2, where Peter's just down on his luck and you're seeing him deal with everything that he's been through. And I love that 100%. I loved seeing Strange be humanized because I recently rewatched the 2016 Doctor Strange movie the other day, and he was okay. I didn't really feel a connection to him personally. Like everything just kind of happened to him in that movie. But this Strange takes his own personal growth into account and goes out and helps others, and it was fantastic. Benedict Cumberbatch did a fantastic job. Every actor in this movie really did a great job. Speaking of actors in this movie, holy hell, Elizabeth Olsen, the Queen, she was awesome. She was such a badass in this movie. I was blown away by her performance from scene one to the very end of the movie. She was giving it her all. Not even A grade, S tier. That's how great she was in this movie. I was not expecting the direction the story went with her character. I had my own thoughts and theories based off of the trailers that I saw. Marvel did do its typical Marvel trickery with movies that they, want to keep the audience surprised with and messed with the Doctor Strange trailer. It's a line in one of the Doctor Strange trailers. It's actually said by a different character, and it recontextualized the movie a bit because I was shocked when that character said it, and I was like, holy hell, it actually makes sense that this happens. But, man, great. Such a fun time. I will say, the beginning of the movie, it gets straight to the point, which you may or may not like, depending on what kind of viewer you are. As the movie progresses, and it's like once it gets its initial setup out of the way, everything kind of flows at a nice pace. But the beginning of the movie definitely does. It's not too fast, but it's like, we got to get to the point. The movie's 2 hours and 6 minutes. It's like, we're going to get to the point, and we're going to let everything play out from there, which I'm perfectly fine with that. I think it worked out really well, at least for me, in the regard that it did. The action and effects in this movie. I had a problem with the action in the first Doctor Strange movie. I feel like with each movie going forward, Doctor Strange has gotten better and become more and more like how I would expect him to be. In the first Doctor Strange movie, there was a lot of mirror dimensions, there was a lot of light-based magic, and it was all very boring to me. The effects were cool when they were in the mirror realm and everything was moving around, but overall, the spells and everything that cast in the movie weren't that intuitive. Then get to Infinity War and things get a little bit better, and the fight scene where he goes against Thanos is really cool. Then you get to this movie, and it's like, all right, you guys know what you're doing now. You have it in your wheelhouse. You're like, we get it. He's Doctor Strange. He can do whatever the fuck he wants because he has magic. So let's go. We're going hard in the paint. We're doing a movie about magic. Going crazy with the magic. Crazy visuals. Crazy spells. Unique spells. They go all out with this, and it's perfect. I love it. This is exactly how I feel Doctor Strange should be. Like the first fight scene in the movie that you see him, my bad, the second fight scene in the movie where you see Strange fight, that everything he did in that fight, I was like, okay, I could definitely see Doctor Strange doing that because he's casting spells in unique ways to alleviate the situation, and it worked out great. I love it a lot. They still have, the light-based magic in it, but it didn't feel too boring because it was used sparingly instead of constantly like it was in the first movie. And I think, good job. Good job on you, Sam Raimi. To this day, you are still a king at making superhero movies and creating inventive ways to use the character's powers. Like, this man took Spider-Man's powers. He has webs and super strength, and he can stick to things. And he made incredible, inventive action set pieces that are still remembered to this day. And with Doctor Strange, who has an incredible wheelhouse, he made this movie really entertaining to watch, and I think that was fantastic. What else? what else in this movie? Because there was a lot. Wong was okay. Wong didn't really have much of a mainstay in this movie, which is fine. He definitely has more presence than he did in the first Doctor Strange, and he's maintained his character progression over time, so he is still more comedic and jovial as opposed to the stoic man that he was in the first movie, which I think is great. But there's not much really to say about Wong. He's there. He's cool. I still think the best appearance of Wong is in Shang-Chi. But here, he does what he needs to do. Now, the brand new character, America Chavez, she's all right. I dig her character. That's really about it. They went in a different direction with her character that I was surprised with by the end of the movie regarding her power set, at least from what I know of her in the comics. And I'm curious to see where this is going to end up going in the future. The character introduced in the post-credits scene was pretty cool. I do not know an extensive amount about them comic book wise, except for one thing that I'm obviously not going to say here. This is a non-spoiler review for the movie. But yeah, I immediately knew who she was. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't really know much else outside of just understanding like who she is in regards to Doctor Strange as a character. Outside of that, this movie is really fun. It's definitely one of the better MCU movies. I feel like if you show someone Doctor Strange 1 and 2, they'll understand it. There are a few things in the movie that are connected to the MCU. Obviously, the stuff with Spider-Man No Way Home plays a role, but overall, I don't think it will affect someone's viewing experience of the movie. And I cannot forget to talk about this before the cameos in this movie from the Illuminati. Whoo, boy. They were cooler than I was expecting. I'm not going to tell you who's in them, obviously, because that's a huge spoiler, but the one that people think is in the movie is not in the movie, and there are cameos that people didn't expect to be in the movie that are, and are really cool and satisfying for MCU fans and especially comic book fans. Like, I was not expecting to see who I saw on screen. I was just like, bro, what? Okay, so we're doing this. It wasn't even just actor-wise playing the character. It was even the characters themselves in it. I was like, wait, hold on a second. I wasn't expecting to see this character at all, but there they are. So that was really cool. I did like those cameos. All in all, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a fun time. I definitely recommend checking it out. If I had the ability, I would definitely go and see it again. So yeah, I guess that's my stamp of approval. Doctor Strange is a movie. I would go see it again in theaters. That is, I guess, all I really have to say about this without going into spoilers. So hopefully you saw this video, you liked it. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, all of that good, crazy nonsense. Don't spoil this movie because screw you if you're someone who spoils this movie for people. And yeah, thank you to my thumbnail artist. His link to his Twitch channel is in the description. And I'm Cameron, the innocent villain. And remember, folks, you're innocent till proven villainous. And I'll catch you in the next one.